Yeah, and it annoys me. I'm like, what? Are you here? He starts to repeat everything I've said. But I'm like, that's not the point. I'm not asking you to memorize. I'm not asking you to like,
Oh my
He
god.
goes, yeah, about that part about this and this. You're wearing green. You had blue shoes. And I'm, no.
I'm the same. I end up asking, did you hear what I said? And she replies, and I'm like, yeah. I'm like, and then? Because it's so annoying when you're talking to someone and it just seems like they're not listening.
They're not
or the attention is not at you.
Mara starts to rub his eyes, looks tired, like I'm bothered and bored. I'm like, am I boring you? He's like, no, he's tired. I'm like, you don't tell me you're doing music. You don't tell me you're making your beats.
Me too. I gotta say one thing that has gotten better. One thing that has gotten better that we I remember this would have been in the law school still. Because I remember once, so we were, then we would have only been married like a couple of months. It was like fresh, just started. And what I used to struggle with was 11:45, quarter to 12, or like just after midnight. Then Sissy would want to start talking about a day. Or like then she'd want to start like downloading. And for me at that stage, and I remember a couple of times, quite a few times, hey bro, you know the quite a few times. Like I got in trouble because, well, at that stage, I got in trouble because she would start downloading. Yeah. And she'd maybe get to like 5%, and me, I'm like, I'll fall asleep, because by that stage, me, I'm tired.
And then you can't fall asleep, you're just thinking about
I'm like, this.
Yeah.
So
for me, like, I would think, and it's just like overthinking, and then it's like, it's in your head, and like, maybe I can go through this myself, maybe it's not a big deal, and then, you get to bed, and it's like, man, I can't sleep. I have to offload this.
Now
it's like,
here we are.
I was like, I can't sleep, so it's either I don't sleep or I upload it now.
Like, shake the way.
But I gotta say, because we spoke about it soon after that stage, and like now it's just we a lot more. I guess we understand how. I don't want to make it that deep, but probably we understand a good time to catch one another. During the day, and the attention is there. Like
during that day,
during the day. If I sleep that day, I sleep. If I'm awake, it's good.
It's good. If my head hits that pillow, you're too late. Try tomorrow. Working hours have finished. No, but I do understand that for a lot of people though, it is that late night hours that things just come up. Feelings just come up. The day has now finished and you start going over everything, so it does. So I do understand why, it is those are normally late night conversations. Those big ones.
Pillow talk.
Say what people call it, pillow talk.
I just feel like, remember what I say that day? I just feel like, He literally gets up. It's on his
I just feel like.
Don't start feeling it now.
I don't feel it. You trying to be like, I'm listening. And I know, are you pissed off? Are you doing that I wanted to communicate? Don't go to bed angry, you see?
For me, I read this. I'm like, let me read it to you, okay? Let me read it to you. Because sometimes I'll write down my feelings, and I'll be like, I wrote it. Let me read it. And then I'll start. So tell me when to stop.
Laura's done that before.
What's it?
It is what it is, man.
Sometimes.
Like,
yo.
Is it a girl thing?
No, it's like because he does it.
It's a girl thing, to be quite honest.
No, I don't think so.
Oh,
he does it. I'm the one falling asleep, but the one who starts like, look, I just.
X-Men.
I'm like,
There's a few mutants.
Yeah.
Majority.
But I'm a night owl.
on your side table.
No, because when you don't let it out, like then at work you
When
think
you hear those
Yeah,
words,
I'm
here we
just
go.
I don't like get like morning curse, nothing.
But and it's also that thing of not wanting to go to sleep upset. So I guess that's why.
Disrupts your sleep so much.
I can't
Yeah.
sleep properly,
Tossing,
man.
turning
When you're
eggs.
upset, I get nothing.
Yeah,
Don't
that's sleeping on the edge of the
Alright.
bed.
You just pretend like you're sleeping, but you're not really.
Something must be wrong with me. I still sleep like a baby.
Bruh.
But then I come back in the morning. But then I come back in the morning.
Yeah,
I still just go to sleep.
I don't
But
like
in the
having
morning I'll
problems,
feel
man,
it.
you know?
It's annoying. We're fighting and you come to me, try to hug me. I'm like, what's wrong with you?
But that's a part of it. Like that's one of my love languages. Because
Yeah.
I'm a
What's his
full on,
thing?
the physical touch. That sort
Yeah,
of thing.
even in the sleep, eh?
So even so,
Sleepwalk, I mean,
if something's happened, like part of me, I'll only feel okay if she will come, sit with me, give me a hug, give me a kiss. When we have that, then for me in here,
Yeah.
I feel like
Yeah.
cool. Now I'm good, and now I can go.
Yeah.
And it's weird, but now Sissy knows me because my most emotional time is when it's around when I'm getting hungry, and Sissy knows that the most about me. Me, I'm most emotional if I'm hungry, and the hungrier I get,
just like,
this used to happen back in the day before like us school time. And if I'm hungry, but I throw hands, but I'm hungry. I used to get like, hey, I don't know what it is. It's just me. So then she'll know she'll catch me, she'll feed me, and then like tail end of when I'm finishing, and then after there for a good hour or so, then we can chat, we can talk.
We do a full belly.
Talk forever, Then we can talk.
he was switch off his phone sometimes.
Yeah.
Turn this off. I was like, wow.
Because it's just a respect,
Yeah.
I don't wanna,
Yeah. Nah, I guess I
That's
get
a
that.
journey, yeah.
You can be like irritable on a hungry stomach. I know. Yeah, real quick to
I just
snap.
go quiet. I just go
Yeah.
quiet on top.
That's
of
Warren as well,
Yeah.
it's quiet.
Just don't
We
say
both
anything.
do.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
both.
we
Yeah,
both
we
go
just get
quiet.
quiet.
So,
Wait, when we're hungry?
Yeah, when I'm hungry, I go quiet.
Yeah. I don't know what I do. I don't even know
Oh, you
if I
talking about when
notice.
you're angry?
When I'm hungry or am I angry?
When you're angry, I mean.
Angry.
When you're angry.
When I'm angry,
When angry,
I'm
you
quiet.
go
He
quiet,
hates
man.
it. He doesn't eat.
Yeah.
Even if I was
You
in
know,
the
when I
box,
have a
he doesn't
problem,
eat.
I don't like having problems.
Oh.
I really don't. When I know, like, oh man, I've got a problem.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, that's
it stresses me
his
out.
appetite will be gone.
No
Yeah.
appetite.
His
So
whole body is
I just
affected.
smoothies, bro. Like
Yeah.
I just try to drink smoothies or something because
He won't eat
otherwise
for
I
days.
So that's the secret.
Yeah.
No breakfast, lunch, dinner. He will try to have something for dinner. The next day, no breakfast, lunch.
Yeah.
And I'll feel so bad. I'm like, you're not.
Really?
You know,
Until we sort
He
things
skips
out.
meals.
Not
Yeah.
fully. Definitely doesn't eat.
Yeah.
He just
I need to
stays
learn
there.
that, man. My problem when I'm hungry, hey, keep
But he
coming.
doesn't realize it because there's so much in
it's
his
not
mind.
it's not
Doesn't-
cautious.
Nah,
It's
fair.
not
He
a
doesn't
cautious
realize
thing.
it.
It's just like, man, I gotta sort this out, you know.
But I think now he sort of does. Now what I do is I just go to him. Even if we're fighting, I will just bring him the food in the room, and I'd be like, eat this.
For me, I just have no
Yeah,
appetite.
no, that helps.
You can bring me my favorite food and I still won't eat it. if
He'll
I'm not
eat it
right.
because at that point he's
It's
afraid
not
of
right
me.
there because you're hot, man. You're just like, bro.
Yeah.
No matter
What's
how
the
much
point
fun.
of like eating
no-
food when
yeah.
you can't like enjoy it? Like your body's
The
sad.
minute you got me, I'll eat it.
Yeah. I'll be angry.
Put me on a
I'll
drink.
eat it.
Yeah. I'll be mad, but I'll be like,
Food is
tasty.
good.
It's good.
Very
Yeah,
like
man.
Sure.
It's tough.
Is it?
What?
When you're talking to me, when you're angry. Thank you. He's mad. Sometimes I don't know if he's mad at me.
Oh,
What is-
word.
Yep. Damn. Like, it's normal everyday conversations. Okay, it's just small talk. And then whenever he gives me short answers, I'm like, I did something wrong. Like,
Yeah.
That's the
Like,
sign.
literally,
That's
like,
the
literally, I go
sign.
through my day, how I said stuff, go through my texts.
Yeah.
I'm like, what did I do wrong? And
Yeah.
he's like, I just don't like. I'm like, don't be short with me. I just don't like it.
Yeah.
I don't like it when I don't know why.
Yeah.
I just feel so like.
It kills me.
You know?
Like if your mood changes or you just stop being like affectionate with me or just give me silent
Suddenly.
treatment.
Yeah.
It kills me. I just get so like,
Mm.
oh, what is going on? Like tell me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And especially like for him, sometimes it'll still even take a minute for him to even talk to me
Sometimes
about
all
it.
you want is the other person to realize what they've done. and then be like,
you want it to hit them.
Yeah, you want them to know, like,
really
okay,
hard.
I'm done with it, yeah. Sometimes in your head, you're like,
That's true.
no, sometimes in your head, it's like, you know, it makes sense. Like, this is common sense. This should make sense to you. So, like, okay, you see me upset, you should figure out why I'm upset yourself.
Sometimes you don't know.
No, but like, you know, let's say, something like, you know, I said, oh, you know, we should go, I don't know, we should watch a movie together tonight, you know, and then, I don't know, I get home and she's with her friends, and I'm like, I'm not gonna go be like, hey, you know, why are you with your friends?
Get out.
And then, you know, I'll be upset. Obviously, because like, I've booked in quality time. She's booked in. She's, you know, booked in other quality time with other people.
You've requested a meeting.
So then she might come to me and see me upset, and then she's like, "Oh, what's wrong?" Then I'm like, "What? What? You know?"
Appointment.
To me, I just want you to be like, "Oh, actually, that's right. We had that thing that was, my bad."
I'm sorry.
And then I'll be like, "Oh, cool. You know, she realized what happened." You know?
Hey, the power of acknowledgement, though.
Yeah.
Like, I remember, like, there's times like something will come up and we'll have an argument, but just to hear Sisi, like, say I'm sorry, or just to hear Sisi say, look, sorry, if I didn't, you know, I didn't get that right, or I should have done that. You know, just to hear that, it's like,
it's huge.
now I can, you know, now I'm okay.
Now I can sleep.
And before that, I'm like, now I can sleep. And I'm like,
I'm telling you, just like that.
Do we still have the chicken?
You remember you were offering 3 days ago?
Ali, hey, because let's be honest, when you like something comes up and it's a problem, you know you're going into your room, you know you're closing the door, you're gonna make angry beats, you make an angry beat. All the angry beats comes like
Just crap.
angry beats, you know. So dark chords, man.
All the gangster stuff.
Even just house music.
You're like, oh, I didn't know you're into thrash metal.
But that just goes to show it's such a human feature. It comes out one way or another. You know, in your being quiet or in your fasting.
That's what I solved the problem. I don't like having problems, man. For real, like,
It's unnecessary.
One thing I have had to learn though is, you know, sometimes you think you're fine, but the way you're acting is not fine. You're actually acting upset. But you know, you're like, no, but I'm not. But I'm good. But I'm normal. And they're like, no,
you're not.
Not normal. Like this is not okay. Like what is actually going on? So also like just knowing like if I'm gonna be upset with him, I do need to like talk to him. Like instead of just treating him as just being angry. Just being angry. But actually like eventually like you do need to talk about it. Because it will show. You don't think it's showing, but it shows. Like everybody around you can see it.
It's hard to pretend.
Hey, I suck at I'm bad.
We're bad.
You can't put a poker face.
I don't try to.
In front of people, we can fight now.
Yeah.
Fighting.
The lesser you know, the more there's something wrong.
In front of people, kind of to protect.
I can
to
hide
protect
it.
each other.
I'm good at hiding it.
Good at
Really?
I'm not. I come to a point where other people asking me, you okay? I'm just gonna go to my room. Leave me alone.
For real.
Do it.
For real, bruh.
Yeah.
I get the point.
He can't do it in public.
Are you old?
Many times you can see.
I can. He can't do it in public.
I always see it with you.
Hey, man.
Yeah.
But other people
You're like an
can't.
open book.
Other people
Yeah.
can't.
Good.
So you can fake it in public. Like you can hide.
He can fake it really well.
And it's not even faking it.
Not faking it, but
It's
he
I'm
puts
just
it.
you
Just
can
tell
fuck-
him.
Really, really well.
I'm just being normal.
For me, I'm very obvious. I don't try to hide it, and I don't think I ever will try to hide it. You will know.
I just get in my head. And
Yeah,
it
you
just
will know.
affects me so much. Like I just get in my head. Like,
Yeah.
even if, like, let's say we're out and then something like happens, and then I'm just like, nah. Like that'll probably ruin my night.
Yeah.
You probably noticed it's ruined my night. And then it'll get worse because I'm like, you've noticed something's wrong and you haven't acknowledged anything, you know, and I'm like, it just gets worse and worse.
But
I'm just like,
do you see how you being silent about it? This is
I see.
When you're being silent about it, it just creates more problems.
It creates like a loop.
It's like way more than you started with. If only you just say something right then and
Maybe something just happened.
Yeah.
Oh, really? What?
Bang, bang, bang. Because man, by the end of the day, like you've got 5 other problems.
Yeah, exactly.
Started with 1. You know?
Snowballed.
Yeah.
Like it's reflecting back. It's like so easy talking about it, but when you're in the moment, oh my gosh.
Man, the language disappears.
You
lose all the words.
Honestly, just in the moment, it makes sense to just be by yourself. It makes sense. And then afterwards, you're like, actually.
This is not helping.
Yeah.
Well, nah. But yeah, it does take a lot of growing to figure these things out. We went through some big arguments when we first started trying to figure all this out. Like to the point where I think we got to a point where we just start like yelling at each other, and then we were like, nah, we don't like that. We don't like seeing each other like that. Or especially because we have kids, like with Brooklyn or like Araya, like the one thing we've always said is like, we don't want to be those parents that, the kids grow up seeing, just always yelling at each other or saying disrespectful things, like, and never calling each other out of our names, you know what I mean? Like, so we were like, oh God, we have to figure out communication, like so that our arguments never escalate to a point where it's just you're just angry, you're just talking at each other. Nobody's listening to nothing. This is not gonna go anywhere.
It's my point, your point, point, your point. Nobody's gonna listen.
No, and it actually doesn't go anywhere. You get to a point where it's just.
Because you want to win.
Everyone wants to win.
Everyone wants to win the argument.
If your goal is to win the argument, you've lost already. Like, if your goal is to win the argument, you've lost already.
Sorry, straight away. I'm like, now it's funny. Like, I picked up on how how he is now. Like, I noticed this year. I'm like, I'm quicker to apologize. I'm always the first one. I'm like, who am I? Like, honestly, I'm always like, sorry. Well, I'll still be upset, but I'm gonna keep you in peace. I'd much rather peace than to like hold it in, because I know what it does to me. I can't sleep. There's all these like consequences. And I just want to get it over and done with, or set a time to talk about it properly. Like, acknowledge it and say, hey, look, bro, like, I know you're tired, we can probably talk about this tomorrow, we're not angry, or we're not, so that way there's a better solution. But otherwise, I've come a long way, like, definitely learned from him how to just, it's okay to say sorry, because I noticed after saying sorry, that's it.
Solves the problem.
Things are better.
And it's okay to know that sometimes you've done wrong. Like,
I've learned that as well.
And be like, wow, actually, I have. I should do something about this, instead of being like, well, why are you attacking me, bro?
Because I used to view that way. Now I'm like, no, wait, I'm not perfect. Like, see my flaws.
I remember though, like, I used to.
I'm dying.
I remember there was one time again early on, and I said sorry, and it was kind of because I wanted to just sort of resolve the situation, and then Sissy turned to me and she said, I want to know why you're saying sorry. You know? And it's like that sort of thing. So it's like it's like just, I don't know, it's not just like, I am sorry, you know?
I used to be good at that.
And then it's just, hey, I'm sorry for doing that, but it's not. It's like, look, I know that I did this when I said that maybe I shouldn't have. I just want to apologize, and I want to acknowledge that I should have, I could have been better in that instance. But, let's keep going, and then,
You know what I'll say though? Like, coming out of, most of us here, African households, African parents don't really apologize.
No.
I'm just saying the truth. Sorry, Dad and Mom, watch this.
I don't even think she's.
I've never seen you just see a conflict happen, And then maybe a few days later, people are alright. I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
Did you like?
Yeah.
I've never heard it.
Yeah.
Not even once.
Yeah.
No.
So it's quite interesting to see like where that comes from. You know, like I had to learn how to actually say sorry and say why I say sorry. You know, what I'm sorry for. Because before I was like, you can easily dismiss it by just saying sorry. But what are you? Do you even know what you did?
Yeah.
Especially if you say sorry to something, and then you carry on doing that same thing.
Yeah,
Sorry.
that's just
We're
like,
sorry.
you didn't learn anything. It's a huge hurdle, man, to get to that place where you actually apologize and articulate yourself properly, coming out of a traditional sort of African households, man. Because the Africans, like, I don't know, maybe there's some that apologize. Some.
My parents do.
My parents
It's interesting, because my dad, like when he realizes that he's hurt you, he'll call you, and he'll be like, "Oh, Patience." He'll be like, he'll either say, "Your mom told me that you were sad about this. I'm really, really sorry for saying that."
Yeah, it's like my
That.
dad.
That's not what I'm talking about.
Like,
I'm not talking about them apologizing to you or all that kind of stuff. It's just like watching
Their
them.
relationship.
Just a normal
Yeah,
bond
it's a
together.
relationship like normal
Right,
stuff.
like
Like you never
they
got
just
to
do it in
really
their
see how
private-
they resolve
I
how they
see.
resolve the conflict. It's just you see them okay, and you're like, wait, but you just
But at the
like,
same time, like with African parents anyway, you never really see the relationship. You never really like,
you hardly see
they don't-
the conflicts.
you don't see the conflict.
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes you don't even actually see like
The intimacy.
the intimacy. Yeah, you know, they sort of keep that private.
keep it private.
It's
But
only
a
now
lot,
that
a
I'm
lot.
older
It's
that
not-
I'm like noticing
Yeah,
those
me
things.
too. I'm
with
starting
my
to see that a
parents.
lot more with my parents
I
now.
think
but
I've always seen that with
I
mine.
don't know.
I don't know
You
why.
always
Yeah, my parents have always
You
been
don't
really
apologize to each
intentional.
other or so?
Yeah, like my dad. We don't. The thing is, we never see the argument. But like we can tell though, because maybe dad is quieter or mom's a bit quiet. But my dad is such a playful person. He'll come into the kitchen and he'll be like, "I'm sorry, mommy," like to my mom, like, "Oh, mommy," and then he'll cook, and then he'll start dancing. Then we'll all be goofing around the house, just to make the one person happy. And then it's the same thing with my mom. My mom, I don't hear her verbally say it. Pride, but I don't hear her verbally say it, but I do see it.
Yeah.
Because she'll be like extra, caring to my dad, or but we personally in my household, I have watched that. I think that's where I learned about communicating, because I see how they communicate with each other, and it's so like my mom is so honest. And then my dad is he's the type of person who's like, it's nothing, like he's like, he just, life is not that serious. Like he's just always really happy, and my mom would be like, no, this is how I'm feeling, or something like that. And then dad would be like, he would listen. He will sit there, he will listen, he will be attentive to her, then he will laugh, and then he will go on with his day. So I think it just depends. And sometimes you don't see them saying sorry, but you do see the actions. That's what I've noticed. You do see like a little bit, but our parents have learned very differently, so they express their love very differently.
They do.
They
I think
so
it's
They probably had next to nothing.
Yeah.
How they grew up.
It was a bit of a different dynamic, because I just grew up in my home. It was just solo parent family, just my mom and me. And I remember like mom, I think interactions like between us, when you're young you don't really take notice of much, things. I can kind of remember like when you start getting into like your early teens and like that sort of like I remember one or two times like walking into mom's room and I could see she had been crying like that, and I think that's why I'm like I think a lot of that in that sense was there was probably a ton of stuff that she, just not one to talk to. Like she would have had friends, but not in that sense, not like a spouse. So she just had to kind of like deal with it, and she whatever method she would, and then kind of go on. But one thing I'm always grateful for was that we always had, my mum always had a very like she's got a very loving person naturally, like that, like, and she'll show that, which is like what I kind of got used to, and so that's why so I guess in the home, like seeing that even between, I mean it's a different dynamic, speaking about parents now, but like, I didn't get to see that, but like I saw she would kind of sort things out. But if between mother and son, if we were like arguing or stuff, then it would always be that point, like maybe we'd kind of like have a little argument or whatever, and then go away. But there was always this point of like coming together and at least addressing what had happened. And so I got used to that sort of, because that for me was normal. You know, which is why like I guess going through things, how we boys, you know, we do stuff and whatever. But you know, at the core of me, like it's natural for me if something comes up and there's a problem, like my norm is like, let's sit down. You know, let's talk about this, because something happened and you were on the receiving end of ABC and I was on the other end of DEF, whatever. You know, let's talk about it and let's make it that sort of thing. So no, it's pretty different. You know, it's kind of seeing that. That's why my mom is one of the superheroes, I guess, in my life, because she didn't have that. You know, like if something came up or if there was like this or. You know, I guess it was just more of an opportunity to see God in our home. Just kind of seeing that, like, I just knew, like, really, if something was coming up or this or whatever, I know Mum's praying about it. And then we just saw answers, you know, just things used to come up, and then it was just like that sort of thing. So,
that's really nice.
Pretty different.